How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. Well, my name is Sam Kong. I work with Radio Akobe. Uh, yeah, I want us to share some few questions. Yeah. Uh, could you tell me your name? Could you introduce yourself? And where are you from, actually?
Thank you very much for having me. My name is Farshab. I come from Akobo West, Walgak.
Well, Parshab, what made you to flee from your home?
First of all, I'm very much appreciating your interview. I was to leave my home because of a serious security concern, bombardment, and the ground offensive caused by the LSPDF and SPLMIO.
That is what is displacing you from Akobo West.
Yes.
Okay, and then you came to.
Then I came to Akobo East on 14
And
for
what
4 days.
for 4 days?
Yeah.
What are you eating when you were? What are some of the challenges you faced?
We were facing a lot of challenges on the road, especially there was no food. We were eating only the wild fruit, and we are eating some sorghum grain that is not boiled.
Uh-huh.
So, and some bui meat along the way when I come to Akubis.
Well, when you came to Akobo, yes, and what displaced you again? That forced you to move up to where you are now.
Yes, when I arrived to Akubis, we were warmly welcomed by the humanitarians, and we were supposed to get the support. Unfortunately, the LSPDF was written circulating the document that was quote
Oh, the
to
letter of
the
72 hours.
letter of 72 hours. Unfortunately, it was coming to true, and we were posing from Akuba is when the SPDF arrived in Widang, so to Akuba Tirgo.
How was your journey to Akobo Tirgul when you are being forced again?
We were facing huge challenges when we flee Akuba town, so we ran. The bombardment was continuing, and when we arrived in the river side, so some children were just dropped themselves, or the families dropped themselves to the rivers, and some children were drowned, and there were no available of booties here, but we were using
Even
the
Kanu?
plastic kit, even canoe.
Kanu, they were not there?
They were not there, yes. This was the huge challenge. And even some children were now missing along the riverside.
Seeing you are being displaced from Akobo West all the way up to Akobo East, then you are being displaced again to Akobo Tirgul from Akobo East. Uh, did you manage to come with your family members or you are being separated?
Yes, of course, I come along with my family members, seeing we were displaced in Akobo West up to Akobo East. We were settled and we were registered. Unfortunately, we were not receiving the humanitarian assistance that's supposed to be given to us, the IDPs in Akobo East.
For those who have missed their lovely one, who are being separated with the loved one, are they able to uh, relocate where the family is and reunite again? Have you seen such thing?
So there is a gap, but a number of families were separated, especially in Bong Payam, and they were trying to make the connection in Akobai, and unfortunately the SPDF displaced us again in Akobai to Akobai. Therefore, there was no time for the family whom separated from their loved ones to be reunited.
What is the hardest experience that you have been experiencing in this case?
We have been facing a lot of hardest situations, especially when we were in Akoba West. We saw a huge bombardment and the very great offensive and huge looting of the civilian property by LSVDF and the killing of elderly and the lactating mothers in Walgat. Especially, I have two families members whom I miss, whom were killed by LSVDF in Walgat. So one is my nephew wife, one is my uncle wife. So they were lactating, and out of it, they were two. Totally, the 8 women. Yeah, I have relatives from those whom were killed by LSPDF. This was a very hardest situation that we see, and the anger we were facing along the road.
And currently, yeah, in Akobo Shegul, Ethiopia side, how is the conditions here?
The condition is unbearable because the humanitarian is not yet responded to the and we are not sure the humanitarian in South Sudan will help these people or the Ethiopian authorities will help us in a Kobatirgo, but we are not sure.
About the insecurity when you reach here to Akobo Tirgul, Ethiopia, do you feel safe? Yeah.
I'm not here in a Kobatirgo. Yes, I'm feeling safe. That is why I'm crossing
Little bit.
a little bit. I'm crossing the river because this is another territory, the Ethiopian territory. This is more people than South Sudan.
What protection do you need if you are to ask the protection from the international community and even from the government and other authorities that can provide protection? What kind of protection do you need?
The full protection that we are requested that we need from the humanitarian, the first the releasing of the former detainees, political detainees, and the permanent ceasefire, and the returning home through the assurances, clear assurances, and the withdrawal of SSPDF from Akoba towns. So this is the full guarantees of our security. Since they are here in Akoba town, so there is no protection up to now.
Yeah, when we talk of protection, maybe the protection that may provide by the either peacekeeping force and other authorities,
Yes,
including
we need. We went for the demonstration when we saw the letters circulated by the LSPDF spokesperson
when they are giving
when they
72
are
hours
giving 72 hours.
for
We went up to
humanitarian and
UNMISS
civilian to evacuate.
to evacuate. We went up to UNMISS for our demonstrations that say no for LSPDF in Akoba town. Yes, for all humanitarian and UNMISS present in Akoba town. That will guarantee our full protection.
What is your biggest fear if you are to go back home? What is your fear?
The fear is, of course, is not new. We fear for many things. We fear for SSPDF. The SSPDF are using a very dangerous technique for confusing us. They are using rape. We fear for our women to be raped. We fear for our adolescent children to be raped, and even the men, because in some areas we were doing the sodomy for in Ayut, especially the 10 men were raped. Yes, the sodomy in Ayut was conducted by SSPDF. They are using like not South Sudanese. They are using another way.
They are treating men and
They are treating men
civilians
equally
as if they are not their
as they are not
their community.
their community. Of course, again, we also experienced 8 men were naked in Neural County. So we don't know what happened to those 8 men,
Their
and
clothes were removed.
their clothes were removed, and they come to the location with naked bodies. So this is very new thing.
But the authority here in Akobo, they are calling civilian to go back home. What
This
can you
is
say?
this is I can say this is the big job. It is a big job because they are not guaranteeing the security for civilian to return home. So especially the commissioner is calling the civilian to return home. But I say this is the big job because
So which means you are not ready.
yeah, we are not ready because the commissioner will not able to maintain the security because there is the presence of SSPDF. So let the SPDF withdraw, then we go back home.
If there is peace agreement, do you think people will go back to their home?
Of course, if the former detainees, the political detainees are released and there is a permanent ceasefire and the SSPDF withdraw from Akoba town, so the peace is not to be forced by force. The peace will not be imposed by force. The peace is peace. So we will see the peace through our naked eye. So now we fear severely because there is insecurities in Akoba town. The Akoba town now is not safe for us to return home.
What about others people who are saying that they are already they are willing to go back? Do you think there's a huge trust between the SSPDF and the civilians?
These people they paid up with the situation because I cannot say they trust the SPDF, but because there is no option, they decide to go, but they will face serious consequences later. Because the problem in South Sudan is the revenge. The revenge is the most of the problem, and that is carrying out by the SSPDF. They are using revenge killing. Even, for example, the thing may happen in Borton. So tomorrow they will kill the people around living together with them. So this is the most serious one.
Yeah, in Ayot, I think there was some.
In Ayut, they were calling civilians to come to the distribution site, and after that they open fire to them, and they kill. So the commissioner is still there and is doing nothing. There is no justice.
What message could you have for the authorities and other body that may be concerned with the peace agreement? What message could you have?
My message to the international communities and the authorities so that they should accept peace. They cannot impose peace by force. So what is doing now by President Salva Kiir is doing the peace by force. And the gun should not solve the problem of South Sudan. So my message is to release the first Vice President Dr. Riek Machar and the other political detainees, and we return to the revitalized peace agreement of 2018 so that South Sudan will be stable. If the current situation is continue to use the offensive, so South Sudan will disappear in their hands.
Okay. If you are to request any assistance, what kind of assistance do you need
From
international organization, from any authorities?
okay,
Yeah. What
Okay.
kind of support will you need?
we need the support in terms of food, in terms of shelters, so the humanitarian can find a way to bring the food to these IDCs. Maybe they can prepare the the Gagdong areas or care to bring the food supply to those in need, and we can get that food along the side of the river. So we will not get
Side.
Ethiopia side, yeah. We will not get the food through Akoba County Commissioner.
Okay. If you have any hope, what hope do you have for this country in the future?
Uh, my hope for this country is this country will be stable. One, the peace agreement is done.
You mean the real agreement? Because
The real peace.
there are several peace agreement that has
Yeah.
been signed since 2013, and yet there's no good result.
Yet there is
What
no good
peace do you
result.
mean? What kind of peace are you meaning?
I mean the peace that will include the President Salva Kiir because he's the victim, is the enemy of peace. President Kiir is the enemy of peace because he does not want South Sudan to be stable. So he must be excluded from the government, and the peace should continue through the peace lovers.
Okay. Anyway, unless you have a last question, last message, if you have any message, what message could you have?
My second message to the United States. The United States was playing a very important role during the CPA, and they gave us this freedom connecting Sudan and SPLM when we reached to the Naibacha peace agreement, and they spent a lot of billion of dollars for South Sudan to be independent. And now South Sudan is at war. United States is reluctant and not want to solve the South Sudan problem. So my message to the international communities, especially the President Donald Trump, to see who is right and who is wrong to solve this South Sudan problem, because the United States was spending a lot of million of dollars to serve South Sudanese, and they were also paying a lot of million of dollars for humanitarian assistance, and those money were not reached to the people in need. So this corrupt regime must be changed, must go, and the United States must reinstate the right regime for the people of South Sudan, so that our country will not disappear in the hand of certain people.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.